My name is Gianna. I am the Chief Climate Officer at Convincing Crypto. We are an organization based out of New York City, and we provide information on cryptocurrency and consultation services on crypto. And I'm also executive director of a nonprofit in New York called Albedo Climate Solutions, providing accessible climate education. So first I want to talk about what cryptocurrency is. I think some of you are a little bit familiar with it, but just how it works. Then I'm going to talk about the energy consumption of certain types of cryptocurrencies. Then we're going to go over proof of stake versus proof of work and why proof of work needs to be implemented rather than proof of stake at the city level and through government to protect the climate. And then I'm going to talk about the role of big cities and advocates. And this is really an opportunity for policymakers and advocates in both climate and crypto to come together, because this is really a growing industry and it's only going to get better. So if we're going to grow it, might as well make sure we're also reaching climate neutrality through that. So a little bit of background on cryptocurrency. It's decentralized digital money. It eliminates the middleman, and it's secured using blockchain technology. So if you have to make a transaction at a bank or between two people right now, it takes a while sometimes for your bank to transfer it. The banks usually get a cut of it, so you lose some of that money when maybe you're transferring money between two different countries. And people also don't have economic identity in certain countries too, if they don't even have banks yet. A really fun fact about 2 weeks ago that just happened in Ethiopia is the Ministry of Education there just adopted Cardano, one of the most sustainable blockchain technologies in the world, for their entire education system. I think about 5 million children there now will have a blockchain ID to keep track of their educational progress. So if that's a success there, they're just starting it out. I'm seeing that more countries are going to start adopting it too. And blockchain technology really is going to better our health systems, better our education systems, and give people who didn't even have access to banks to keeping track of their education, to keeping track of their healthcare records. This is really helping these people in these countries. And I think more developed nations will see like, oh, this is happening in countries in Africa now. Even though we have a system here, this is so much more efficient. And we should also adopt it in countries like Poland, countries like the US. China actually recently decided to ban all cryptocurrency, but luckily in the US and Poland, crypto is legal and it's only growing. And just so you have the numbers here, just last year, 12 months ago, like towards the beginning of the pandemic, the crypto industry was a $200 billion industry. Just in 12 months, it has increased by 10 times. So it's now a $2 trillion industry. And it's just going to keep growing with more countries adopting it, with more people using blockchain technology in their education system, in their healthcare system. Even the state of Wyoming in the United States is going to be using that in the future for their voting system, for their primaries. So it's really something you should be looking out for, something you should be thinking in both countries. How can this be done in the most sustainable way? A little bit about the energy consumption of cryptocurrencies. I think the most commonly known cryptocurrency is Bitcoin. It's the largest one. An unfortunate fact about Bitcoin is just to mine one Bitcoin, it requires the energy usage of the entire country of Switzerland. And it's because of the way that Bitcoin is structured. Right now, there's a lot of people who are in competition to compete and mine for one Bitcoin. To mine for Bitcoin, it uses a lot of computing power. People all over the world right now are trying to solve puzzles, asymmetric puzzles, to get this Bitcoin and get the profit out of that. And it comes out of competition, it comes out of greed, but we're ruining the planet with that. There was a power plant in the state of New York that had to reopen, a coal-fired power plant. And the only reason why they reopened it was to provide the power to power more Bitcoin mining. So this is a growing industry. It's going to keep growing. And I'm becoming very concerned that if it keeps going in this direction with coins like Bitcoin, we're going to see more climate impacts from this, more energy consumption, and we're not moving away from fossil fuels quickly enough with this growing industry. The good news, though, is that while there are proof of work coins like Bitcoin, like Ethereum is like the second most common cryptocurrency. They're run off of gas, and there's a lot of gas fees associated with it. There's also another type of cryptocurrency called proof of stake coins. Proof of stake coins are coins like Cardano. Rather than having to solve an asymmetric puzzle and people, miners or coders, competing to solve a puzzle, it uses deterministic selection processes. So there's more collaboration between people who are mining or writing code to get a coin. And a great thing about something like Cardano is rather than using so much energy, it's a third generation cryptocurrency. So it's a lot more energy efficient. So rather than using the entire, not the entire country of Switzerland, but the energy equivalent of the entire country of Switzerland, it only uses the power for the entire system of the equivalent of like one small home. So I think we really need to start passing legislation and becoming more crypto friendly in cities first. And we need to start adopting more of the proof of stake mechanism with those coins and making those legal forms of currency rather than proof of work, because I'm afraid that proof of work coins like Bitcoin are going to take over, and we're just going to see so much more energy consumption with that. Next year, there's going to be the Bitcoin halving. It's an artificial having to make Bitcoin more scarce and make it double as difficult to actually mine Bitcoin. So when that happens next year, it's going to take double the amount of energy usage of the country of Switzerland. And that's just going to keep becoming more and more energy intensive as there's more Bitcoin halvings, and this program makes it harder and harder for people to compete to get more of this coin. And it creates this false sense of scarcity. The good thing about proof of stake is that it's not so energy intensive. It's something that's more accessible for people in developing countries. You can use just a simple computer, and companies like Cardano are trying to provide that to people in countries in Africa so that they can learn how to stake for their own Cardano coins and grow that over there. With Bitcoin, it uses more specialized equipment, so it's only a few people who have access to technology who are able to use it, and a proof of work coin. So my asks for policymakers and advocates is to push for tax credits for companies investing in proof of stake. Blockchain technology is already happening. It's the future, and if we're going to be using it anyways, might as well start it off strong with proof of stake mechanisms rather than proof of work. Small businesses and cities should be incentivized to adopt proof of stake, and education systems should also be implementing Haskell coding in order for people to be empowered economically and learn how to mine or code in a way that's more sustainable rather than the proof of work model. This has actually happened successfully at the University of Wyoming. The founder of Cardano, Charles Hoskinson, gave a $500,000 donation to start a blockchain lab over there. And now it's a they've made a $1.2 million profit from teaching the students there how to code in Haskell. And it's going to keep growing. They're already starting to have the primary, looking into ways to have the primary elections in Wyoming use blockchain technology. And I think other states are going to later on also use that to have a more secure way of voting in the future. So that's it for me for now about crypto, but if you'd like to learn more about it, that's my email. We're called Convincing Crypto. And we have a YouTube channel as well with more information if you're just starting to learn about crypto and want to learn more about the climate impacts of it.